Here's the latest food stamps data. I must warn you, however, that even though we're in October, this data is from April. That's still okay because it gives us a glimpse into what happened in the first full month after the lockdowns. And the key takeaway is that things were bad. A total of 6 million new households were added to food stamps in April. So we were just 1 month into the lockdowns and people were already in need of immediate food aid. I guess this makes sense. On my last video, at about the 9.5-minute mark, we looked at an article out of Florida that was already documenting cases where laid-off Disney workers were in need of food from food banks for 1 week after being let go. That just shows you how weak the economy was before the illness started. If it was a vibrant and strong economy where workers were saving tons of money, then we wouldn't need aid so quickly. We were living paycheck to paycheck, and even then still barely making it. According to CNN, food stamp benefits are going up because food prices are rising. And we saw that in an earlier video where food inflation is outpacing regular inflation. Here's a graph of total household debt. The latest data includes Q2. We are at a record $14 trillion of household debt. This includes housing, school, autos, credit cards, and miscellaneous. The debt bubbles are massive in all of these areas. So if you're interested in me digging deeper into housing, school, autos, or credit cards, let me know in the comments. That said, household debt has exploded since 2011. We can see that debt has stalled a bit in Q2 versus Q1. A lot of this can be attributed to the fact that so many Americans had their credit limits cut. In April alone, 1 out of 4 cardholders had their credit limits reduced. 8% of baby boomers had their rates cut, but it was 36% for everybody else. In my video on the spending crutch, we also saw fewer people buying furniture, electronics, and cars. This would also cause debt to contract. Now, I know this is a good thing. We don't need people taking on too much debt. The problem, however, is this economy is built on debt. What houses are we going to build if there's less people taking on housing debt? What products are people going to buy if there's less people taking on credit card debt? What would happen to the auto market if we were forced to pay cash for our cars? It would implode. So we're living in a debt-financed economy. And unfortunately, as you can see what happened in post-2008, that once the debt bubbles deflate, we see major contractions in the economy. According to Peter Schiff, the definition of a strong economy is a productive one that makes products and that are exported to the rest of the world. Then savings are used to buy things such as cars, products, and houses. We live in a system where we pay for things by using debt. Circling back, I wanted to say, is it no wonder that so many people needed to file for food stamps? They've lost their jobs due to the illness, now have no income, and are saddled with mountains of debt. Now, this is why the Federal Reserve continues with their policy of cheap money. They know that if they stop running the presses, the economy is going to implode. But what they're doing is making it worse for the average Joe. By lending cheap money, they benefit those that own real assets like real estate, stocks, land, precious metals, digital assets, and more. The rich will get richer, but the poor will get poorer. And then the economy will implode for the little guy, but not for those in charge. And it seems like the Fed is okay with that.